What is going on, everyone? I want to talk about the Sixers today, the win against the Kings, how it's going to relate to what occurs tomorrow in Milwaukee, primetime, 3:30 ABC. So, obviously, we all know yesterday's win against the Kings. It was great. The team played well. Brett Brown put together a nice game plan. Jimmy Butler was more effective than we have been used to seeing. And I want to talk about that for just a little bit here because I keep hearing this argument. Why are you happy that Jimmy Butler did that yesterday? That's what he's supposed to do. And I hate that argument. I really do. Oh, he's supposed to do that. Why should you really take notice of it and say, great job, Jimmy. You did great. Way to take over. We expect that out of him. That's something when we acquired him, we expected him to do. And here's the difference, though. This is where I look at it in a totally different mindset. Yes, we do expect that out of Jimmy Butler. But the way we've seen this team play, there was always one guy out of it. Well, Tobias is going off. JJ's coming off dribble handoffs and doing well. Joel's doing his thing. But Jimmy Butler's quiet. But Ben Simmons is quiet. Yesterday, it showed that Jimmy Butler can dominate a game. He can be the go-to guy. He can go off in the second quarter and take over while everybody else does. While the team has the ball distributed perfectly throughout the 5 starters. So he had that effect while everyone else meshed with the offense. That is the difference. It's not like Jimmy Butler put up 25 shots, scored 30-plus points, but, oh, J.J. Redick couldn't get going. Tobias had 6 shots, or Ben had 5 attempts. No. That's the difference. That's why I'm excited about this. Everyone had a job. Everyone took a really decent amount of shots, and it was distributed throughout the starting 5 perfectly, and you have to give Brett Brown credit for that because he's experienced with the rotations. Let's all be real. We've all noticed it. There were times where we were screaming, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? He's definitely subbing different people in at different times now, not so much the hockey line change and who he's bringing in and what stars he's keeping out. He's worked on the rotation, and it seemed like he's got a really good understanding on what's going to work for the future here. So I have to take a look at that Jimmy Butler situation yesterday and say that's why it's different. That's why I'm excited with what he did. Because it's not just him taking over and him dominating the entire game. He dominated his aspect of the game, but the entire team was rolling. The entire team was finding rhythm in the offense. It was great. It was absolutely great. That's why I love it. So let's talk about this game against Milwaukee. By the way, they're 27-5 at home. They don't lose at home. They are a talented team, and I'll be honest with you. They might not be on paper more skilled than us, but as a team, they're a better team. And chemistry goes a long way, and I've talked about this in the past. They are a better team than we are. Now, we're coming off of a great win, and hopefully we can show them up and say, no, we are. But until I see that, I can't say it. I've seen this Buck squad play. They have great chemistry. They play so well together. They know where everyone's going to be. They always click on the same page. More talent than us? No. Better team? Yes, and that's just facts right now until I see it. So hopefully I see that on Sunday. So they're 27-5 at home. They don't lose at home. So this is when I raise the question. If the Sixers go into Milwaukee and lose, but it is a phenomenal game, they play A-plus basketball, Brett Brown does not get outcoached, but they lose to a good team at home that doesn't lose, how do you feel about it? Is this must win? Because I don't think so. I will say this. If we go in there and Brett Brown does get outcoached, we turn the ball over 20-something times, we look like the team that played against the Cavaliers a couple games ago, yes, I will be devastated and disappointed. If we go in there, we give them everything we have, we play a great basketball game, we turn the ball over 10 times, it looked like yesterday, but we fall to a good team at home in their building where they only lost 5 total games, I don't know if I can come down here and just rip everything apart. Obviously, I have to see how it all plays out, but that's how I feel now going into the game. You know me, I'm an emotional wreck. I can go watch the game, come back down, and then within 3 minutes after the game, my face is red as hell and I'm pissed off as anyone can ever imagine. But this is how I feel going into this thing. I'm going to have to wait and see. Of course, the big topic of discussion that we all talk about with the Sixers is, well, they can't beat good teams. They can't beat the Boston Celtics. They can't beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, last time we played the Milwaukee Bucks, this was a totally different roster. And I've got to keep putting this in your mind here. We are coming off of probably the best game we have seen as a unit since they've been put together. So that's one thing that gives me some hope. I'm not saying we can't win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we can't win. We're not a good team. I'm not saying any of that. But when a great team plays a great team, someone's got to fall. And if they both play phenomenal basketball games, still, there's one team that has to fall. So I have to see how it plays out, but I expect this team to build off of what they did. I expect this team to take what they did against the Kings and move forward with it and do a similar game plan against the Milwaukee Bucks. I want to see good rotations. I want to see distribution. I want to see Jimmy Butler go through spurts where, maybe some bench guys are in and okay, he's going to dominate. Speaking of the bench, I want to see Boban in his limited minutes grab rebounds, put the ball in the basket. TJ create spark. Take what we did against the Kings and duplicate it. And we'll put ourselves in a really good position to win a basketball game tomorrow on primetime. I love the Sunday afternoon primetime games. The only thing I don't love, I'll be honest, is the commentator. I love what we have here at NBC Sports Philadelphia with Zoom Off and I want that. I hate listening to national media broadcast our games, but I will tell you this, it is way better, absolutely way better than TNT. The players only. So, some other great things, though, for the Sixers moving forward. Ben Simmons at the free throw line has been amazing. I heard a statistic today that in his last 10 games, my man is shooting 81% from the charity stripe. That is ridiculous. That is outstanding compared to where he was earlier in the season and the form and everything. He is, whether it's mental or whether it's physical, and he's really working on the shot. Amazing. That is amazing, and I hope he continues to build off that. Just looking at this team taking steps when it comes to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid compared to last year. I always mention this with Joel Embiid, but before when things got bad, it was bad. You could see in his body language. This year, he's worked on his passing. Yes, there's times where he still turns the ball over, but he's been phenomenal. He can obviously work on his conditioning level, but he's just a monster. When things do go sour and he's not making some shots, he's still grabbing 17, 18, 19 rebounds. He's still working. He's still getting on the low block. He's still doing things that back in the day when things went south for him, he would mope over, he would show that. And that's a big step. And same with Ben Simmons. He's taken a tremendous step. Both of these two young stars, compared to where they were last year, have taken such a big step when it comes to maturing as an NBA player and working on their craft and working on their deficiencies. Let's be real. Now, has Ben Simmons walked up and taken jumpers all day long? No. But from where he was just free throw shooting wise, that's a monster step in percentages. And I know 10 games isn't a huge sample size. Let's see if it continues throughout the end of the season. But he's definitely worked on the craft and things that he needs to work on that he knows. All around, I'm super excited for the game. In the comment section, I want to know your thoughts on the Jimmy Butler thing. Do you understand that what I'm trying to say is, I get that he's supposed to do what he did last night. He's supposed to. That's what he does. But him doing that with the ball still being worked around to everybody else, that is so much different than him just going off and doing what he wants. Because that's what we need out of this offense. We need everyone clicking. We need to find a way to mesh these stars, and it's working. And we all yell at J.J. Redick doing 5,000 dribble handoffs a game. Well, it seems like everything's working now. Well, it did last night at least, with Jimmy Butler still being able to take over and do his thing. So that's something I'm really excited about. And I also want to know what you think if we end up falling to the Milwaukee Bucks. So we play a phenomenal basketball game. Brett Brown does not get out-coached, and it's just a simple game that we play great. We don't turn the ball over. It turns out being phenomenal. But we just come up short because that's what happens when two great teams play together. How would you feel if that was the case? It is very possible to win, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm super excited. There's nothing better than primetime basketball on Sunday afternoon. Football's over. We all get that. Now, what do you have? You have the Sixers. You have the time to relax. Afternoon, put the feet up, have the dog sitting next to you, you rub his stomach, you let him lick your face, you throw the bone, you throw the ball, you let him run around, but you're enjoying some Sixers basketball in prime time that everybody else is watching. I'm super pumped for it. The Sixers showed me something last game. I hope they don't ruin it. They need to continue to do it. They need to really build off that Kings win. If they take a step back, I'll be really devastated because they did put a big step forward with that win against the Kings, just showing Brett Brown that he can put an offensive structure together that you can make everyone click. We need to build off that. This is it. I mean, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is the stretch. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.